Hello there viewers and welcome to a video description. So, yeah, if you've read the video description for my blueskulldragon87's random Vocaloid clip series 1 episode 4, the video description for it, you will have noticed if you'd read it that it doesn't include all of this, and I also wrote like a kind of pointed out in the description that I'd add a link to a separate video because, well, like you see all this couldn't fit into the description on YouTube. Kind of understandable. I mean, I thought the New Year's video one was like obscenely long when I like uploaded the New Year video with the description. I thought that was insanely long, but it's pretty short compared to this description. And it's because there's so many clips in this one. I really should have done it like split in half. Like, you know, part 1 was like, I think maybe 10 minutes or less. Part 2 and 3, well, episode 2 and 3 were like not nearly like 14 minutes or something like that. I don't even remember. But this one is like 22 minutes. I could have split into 2 and made the whole series one thing have 6 episodes, but instead they have 5, and this is episode 4, which is the longest one and has a lot of clips, essentially. So I have to make a video. Well, I don't have to, it's just a decision, because I'd spent freaking ages writing all this down to put for a description, and YouTube was like, too long, didn't read. Make it shorter, and I did everything I could. I'd like squashed it all together, you know, like, okay, screw paragraphs, who needs that? Just like backspace, nope, didn't work. Okay, maybe I'll remove various ones of my comments on the clips here and there. Didn't work, and I was just like, okay, let's change this to like numbers instead of like having it spelled. Didn't work, so I decided I'll make a video for it, and I did this yesterday actually as I'm recording, but it went on for like freaking over 40 minutes, and I thought that was a bit overkill to go over a video description. That's because I rambled a lot, and I'm doing that right now essentially, but at least I'm explaining this thing a bit. So I'm going to read the description here. You could read it yourself within the time that I've been rambling, but anyway, this part right here is essentially the same description as I actually put into this episode in question that this description is for, essentially. Episode 4 of the random Vocaloid clips. So anyways, so time for episode 4 of these random Vocaloid clips. This episode expands a lot more on the Echo Yandere Chan and Ebe Aya clips. This episode even ends with a conclusion to the Ebe and Aya clips. There's also a continuation of the Journey clip from episode 1. Also, if you've seen my LP of Hatsune Miku Project Diva F, then you've probably seen these clips before, but so what? This bit, like this line right here, copy and pasted from episode 3. Just like, yeah, there's a bit of laziness, but a lot of this is just like, kind of like the clips here, I have to write it all out. Can't copy and paste that because they're different every time. But I do like have some copy pasted stuff here and there. So anyway, here's a list of clips that appear in this episode. That's also copy and pasted. As is this. Well, actually no, because it's like different each time. I mean, it's essentially the same. It'd be like the clips in this episode span from part to part of my LP of the game, but obviously I have to change the parts. And essentially what I mean with this is that in my LP, like, that's how where the clips span from. Like, the first and second clip in this episode 4 here, were first appeared in part, well, they appeared in part 27 at the beginning of the video and the end of the video. And the last clips, 2 clips in this episode 4 video, were from the start and end of part 41, essentially. Second note, part 27 to part 41. Wow, this episode spans more parts than the other ones. It certainly does. Third note, this episode concludes Aya's quest for revenge and the Miku interviews clips. Fourth note, each clip appears in the same order that it did in my LP of the game. I always put that there, but that's essentially what I meant, essentially, with that is that each clip appears in order. Like, for example, these 2 clips were in part 27, these two clips, part 28, and they're in order. This would be at the start of the part, the end of the part. Start of the part, end of the part. Start of the part, end of the part. You get the idea, essentially. So it's going in an order. So anyway, let's go over the clips themselves. First clip, Project 03, Sleep Priestess. And I always have like a kind of like music credit kind of thing. A lot of it tends to just be me kind of like messing around on my guitar. As you can see just on this page alone, it has like 3 different ones here. Cover remix I made of the Sleeping Priestess, a lullaby from Project 03. Guitar and vocals were done by me. Also, I made this cover remix during my LP of Project 03. So yeah, that actually happened when I was LPing that game. I was like, because the lullaby, I mean, sure, it was just like, sleep, priestess, lie in peace. But I thought, like, some of the lyrics in it just seemed like it would be well suited for, you know, heavily distorted guitars and, like, metal kind of stuff. And I just joked about it at the time, but later the same day I was just playing guitar and I was like, holy shit, these chords could actually go well with that. And so I made a remix of it. I've actually made 2 kind of remix covers of it. The first one, which is the one that appears in here as a music video in the Vocaloid thing, but also like included in my LP of Project 03 back in the day as well. But I also made a different remix, which I think I uploaded, titled The blueskulldragon87's and the Handmaiden Sleeping Priestess or something like that, where I had the original audio of the lullaby and just played the chords over it to give it like a heavy kind of metal feel to it a bit, sort of. So yeah, this is the exact same thing that happened last time I recorded this. I just ramble on because I'm not only just reading it and even reading my comments on it here and there, but I'm also, like, you know, adding further comments on it, because now I'm just kind of like, if it's going to be a video, it's just going to end up rambling more, isn't it? Second clip, Clock Tower PS1, Too Silly, Graham Chapman makes another appearance in the form of Kato. Music, me improvising with my guitar. I made it sound bluesy as a callback to my LPs of the Clock Tower games. Which, if you've seen any of my Clock Tower LPs, you may have noticed, like, I'd, like, have this kind of 12-bar blues thing that I didn't even realize it was what I was doing, essentially. That I'd call the walking theme, like, do 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 do, and all that, and just gave it a bluesy feel, as it says there, a callback to those LPs. Third clip, Penumbra of the Black Plague. That's gotta hurt. How nostalgic. I wonder how many viewers have actually seen my LP of that, because that's a pretty old LP. Like, I think I LP'd it back in 2011. But it's basically from the intro, well, and the LP itself, but I'd use the clip itself in the intro to that LP. Music, audio taken directly from my LP of the game, which, as it says, anytime that I say that here, it's pretty much, you know, just taken from the LP itself. Kind of self-explanatory there. I don't know why I have it as music, though. I just like go, okay, the clip, insert it here, music, here. Just to kind of like, I don't know, even if it's just audio and not really music, but still. Fourth clip, Dark Copper 2, Glomped. The idea for this clip came to me while let's playing Dark Copper 2 on my Blue Skull Dragon VN channel. And, actually... Well, the page is right here, but you can't see the link or anything. This is my kind of videos, recent uploads. Currently doing Kaido Shoujo here on my VN channel. Self-advertisement for my other channel. It's just, why not? So anyways, that was essentially the LP I was doing. Well, actually, I did also play Go-Go Nippon 2015 edition before going on to Kaido Shoujo, but before that one, I was still LPing Dark Copper 2, but finished that earlier this year, I think. I think it was this year. Well, anyways, music, me playing a guitar version of one of the tracks from the visual novel. Horrible guitar tone right here. I did a much better sounding version with improv in my Happy New Year, Montage from blueskulldragon87, blueskulldragon VN 2015-2016 edition video. Well, look how long that title is, but that's essentially the title I use for the New Year video. I make one every year, and that was the longest one. Not just in, like, you know, title, but also in video length was like 53 minutes. And even the description was the longest I'd ever made until, well, now, essentially. And, yeah. So I'm going to actually show that. I've got my New Year's video up here. And I'm going to show you, because if you've seen the episode, you know, where all this description is for, essentially, with the Vocaloid clips, then you'll have, like, a comparison if you haven't seen my New Year video. Let's see, where would it be? It's after the You May Nicky one. Well, I might as well listen to this one. It's kind of nice as well. Mixolydian mode! I did not have a clue what mode it was or anything like that till I asked my guitar tutor about it. But in this track, I'm essentially playing one of the little melodies from You May Nicky and improvising over it. Very nice. Lots of legato. Then it goes into a different one. It's the one that plays in that weird trailer place. And apparently the way I'm playing it here, with the improv over it, is apparently Lydian mode. So that's neat. But here comes the much better, improved Dark Upper 2 music that I did. Right about here. Wait for it. Much better tone than the one I used in that Vocaloid clip. To be fair though, in the Vocaloid clip, I just used my amp. With this, I used my effects pedal so I could get much better tones out of it. This has been played in A major. Or maybe, I don't know. It was A major though. That's how I figured out that melody. She's got a carrot, and I forget what it's called, but there's a glare. The glare says, "Get the fuck on with it." So that's the fourth clip. Well, that wasn't, but it was like essentially. Well, I was just comparing it because if you've heard the horrible guitar tone in this clip here, now you've got like a comparison, much more improved version that I did in the New Year's video. And it has a bit of improv thrown in as well, which sounded kinda nice. Fifth clip, Madfalla Plan B. I enjoyed making these various random scenarios. That I did, because really, coming up with various ways that Aya would try to get revenge was pretty amusing. Because it gave me, like, some random ideas for what to do with it, so, pretty interesting. Music, Madfalla soundtrack. It's always Madfalla soundtrack for that, or Ebe, depending, really. Usually both, occasionally. Sixth clip, this is one I like. Sixth clip, Miku interviews Kagami Rin, my personal favorite one of these clips. It also gave me some experience with using the item animations. And by that I mean the bit where she, like, uses a leak like a sword. It kind of gave me, like, a bit of experience using that type of animation, which proved useful when I made the showdown between Kontar and Maya that appears in the next episode, so won't spoil any further than that. Although, again, if you've actually seen my LP of Project Diva F, then you've already probably seen that. Music, me improvising with my guitar. I did actually come up with a little riff to play, but I still improvise with it a bit. It's pretty catchy. You know what? I wonder. Let's see here, because I've got my guitar, but a usual electric guitar, but I've also got my acoustic guitar. Let's see if I can play on the acoustic, because I'd only just got this restrung today, well, I got it restrung the other day, but it was at a music shop, and I've only just got it picked up today. And I gotta say, these strings are really hard to get used to, so I'm so used to electric guitar, but I think the riff is like... Let's try it with a pick. Let's see here. And it's just like, this pick has a really nice feel to it. It's like, the other picks that I've been the one pick I've been using has like a kind of special grip to it, but it always feels like it slips in my hand. But I suppose it's because I haven't actually used this one. It's one of many various anime kind of designed guitar picks that my brother got for me randomly, and it's pretty nice. I think it's I actually haven't seen the series. It's Fate Zero or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. I haven't actually seen it, but I'm pretty sure it's a character from that. I think her name was Rin or something like that. But anyways, I can't even bend string on the acoustic, can I? But yeah, that's that, essentially. It's a catchy riff. It's much better played in the video itself than what I just did there. But anyways, where are we? 7th clip, Journey and Digimon World, still lost. This is the 2nd clip continuing the Journey clips. And again, I'm going to comment on it, that I find that a bit confusing. Because it's the 2nd clip to appear, well, using Journey, because, I don't know, maybe I'm equally as confused by it as I was last night when I originally tried to record it. I thought, you know what, with all that rambling nonsense I did, it's just like, I'll re-record it tomorrow or something like that, because I was overtired. Now I'm awake, it's a new day, and I'm still kind of like rambling a lot. So I don't think it was simply because I was overtired, although that probably added to it. But essentially, up from episode 2 and 3 didn't have any reference to Journey, so it reappears here. And the reason why I just like put it as a continuing thing, because like unlike other clips like say Dark Cupboard 2 that appear a few times, they don't actually have continuation from where they left off, while the Journey one kinda does. So anyway, music Digimon World soundtrack. It's very obvious which track I use from the game. Which, well, yeah, very obvious, because it's not exactly music. It's more of just like, you know, Mount Freeze, I think it was called. 8th clip, Go Nippon, Japanese. The protagonist really loves Japan. Music, me improvising with my guitar. The music is from a recording that I made years ago using the Japanese scale. And I would play the Japanese scale, but I've only got my acoustic guitar next to me. My electric guitar is a bit of a distance away, and I can't be asked to get up to get it. You know, actually, no. Besides, if I got my guitar now, this video would go on even longer. So, skip that. But essentially, I use the Japanese scale, and it's from a recording that I did one of my improvising kind of things, so I decided to throw that in there, whatever. 9th clip, Project 02, Unexpected. This is the first clip that I made using the edit mode from the sequel, Hatsune Miku, Project Diva F 2nd. Music audio taken directly from my LP of the game, the original PS2 version to be exact. Seeing as I have now Let's Play the original PS2 version and Nintendo Wii remake, I thought I'd point that out. See how obscenely long a lot of these descriptions are here? No wonder why YouTube was like, oh man, that's too long. 10th clip, Eve and Madfather. Not again. Will I succeed this time? Probably not. Unrelated to the content of the clip itself, but I think this was pretty much the final clip I made using edit mode in Hatsune Miku Project Diva F before switching to the sequel to make the rest of the clips in this series. Music Eve soundtrack. Scroll down. Fragile Dreams 11th clip. New haircut. He didn't even have hair in the game. Indeed, the character I was referencing was like that chicken man person. I'll say no more than that, really, but that just sounds weird, and it is. Music, me playing chords on my guitar. I tried playing part of one of the songs from the game itself. Oh, screw it, why not? It's an E major 9, A minor, and I'm not sure what this chord is. but it's essentially like with the E major, to make it a 9 you add in an F sharp, and I do it on the high E string with my pinky, just go, and then move down to an A minor, and also then add on the F sharp again. That's essentially, I'm pretty sure that is the melody, kind of like with the chords in one of the songs from the game. And it's a shame, really, but I think the audio is muted for the 2 songs that appear in that game in my LP. And I kind of had a feeling that would happen, because it seems to be like other LPs have experienced the same thing with that game. Has 2 nice songs in the soundtrack, but it's just like, nope, muted. So, yeah, has a very nice sound to it nonetheless, though. 12th clip, Echo and Yandere-chan, sit down and shut up. The evil blackboard returns. Music, Echo the Dolphin soundtrack, Sega CD version. So, like, the Echo the Dolphin soundtrack is pretty trippy. And in the Sega CD version, it's a lot more atmospheric and just like, well, if you've seen these clips, at the very least, then you've probably kind of like get the general impression that it's a lot more kind of like the quality's been upped. It's like with the original version, they had that kind of but now it sounds more kind of atmospheric and kind of, I don't know how to describe it really. Feels a lot more like it's got a lot more going on. Like it's, I don't know. It seems like the original one, video game kind of soundtrack, while the Sega CD version is like, holy shit, this could fit an atmospheric movie. But anyway, 13th clip, Project Zero 1 and 3, Takamine. I doubt that Takamine would still be there after all this time. Music, me improvising with my guitar. I think I used a Japanese scale for this one. You know what, I might as well try it on the acoustic. Is this out of tune? Doesn't matter. Doesn't seem to be. It's got a built-in tuner, but maybe it's a little out of tune, I don't know. So anyways, where were we? So yeah, that's that. 14th clip, Miku interviews Nayuki. Miku sure does interview a variety of people, doesn't she? Music, me playing a guitar version of a track from canon. Visual novel, anime. I'll do the exact same thing I did last time when I recorded this last night before thinking, you know what, this video's too long. So I'm just repeating the same thing here, aren't I? And by the canon thing, I don't mean this. Hard to get used to the acoustic, but I don't mean that canon, you know, canon in D. I mean canon, the visual novel, the anime, the thing, stuff. Although I did actually use that chord progression in a different canon reference that was in the previous episode of this. But anyways, try not to get too off subject. 15th clip, deck up a 2, ruining the mood. Happens a lot of times in scenes like this. Music me playing guitar versions of track from, man, I didn't, so it's just like, this description was so long, and I was like, going over it the whole time, usually just like, I was going like, you know what, any grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, and I still overlooking stuff like this, maybe playing guitar versions of tracks, because there's more than one that I did from the visual novel. The bird also begins to add its chirps to the clips. And he just did it right after I said that, how fitting. And the tone was much different than the previous Dark Opera 2 reference.
because I didn't even use my amp that time. I was like, screw it. It may be an electric guitar, but I tend to play without the amp anyway. Usually, so why not? 16th clip, Madfall, Pumpkin Wand. These plans just keep getting sillier. Indeed they do. Music, Madfall soundtrack. 17th clip, Misao and Journey, having a moment. Unibrow tries and fails to ask for directions from Aki and Misao. Music, me playing the Top Gun theme, I think that's what it's called, on my guitar with a bit of improv. I'm pretty sure it's a Top Gun theme. It's just like, I always hear that music when, you know, like, clips where two people are running towards each other. It's like, and I just like, why not? Because that's what they were doing in that clip that I made. I would try to play it, but I've only got my acoustic next to me currently. So this video will be shorter. By that, it'd probably just been, well, the previous recording attempt was like nearly 50 minutes. This one will be like 29 minutes. I don't even know. 18th clip, Pokemon Colosseum, Fire Red and Emerald, silent discussion. I made this when I was feeling too lazy to make a clip that would require a lip movement. I think it turned out alright. It was pure laziness on my part. I was like, I don't feel like adding lip movements. What can I do to make a clip without that? I was like, well, all the Pokemon protagonists are silent. Let's have 3 of them in one video. Just kind of stand there and like I'll put like subtitle kind of lyrics underneath them where like just be random and pointless essentially, and then it just kind of like camera pans off into the distance. Music, Pokemon Emerald soundtrack. 19th clip, Silent Hill and Worms. Have you seen Little Girl? Harry Mason sends Konatar flying. Music, audio taken directly from one of my videos where I play either Worms Armageddon or World Party. Can't remember which one. I really can't. I have no idea which one it was that had that. It was probably World Party, but I can't remember. It's been so long. 20th clip, Echo and Yandere-chan, together forever. I couldn't resist making a Shining reference when I saw that stage in edit mode. The stage is like, well, it's like 4 hallways, kind of like, that don't seem to go anywhere, and it just, the layout, the look of it, the design, it just reminded me of the hallway scene in The Shining. I was like, you know what, let's have Maya, Yandere-chan, suddenly, like, kind of, like, become, like, twins of herself or something like that. I don't even know. I just wanted to make a reference like that. And in kind of like, you know, when we get to the next Echo clip in this part here, it'll kind of like be like a reveal of like kind of like makes this make sense essentially. Just like, wait, it wasn't Echo was in a train in the previous one with the evil Blackboard and Maya. What's going on here? Why is he in this corridor hallway thing? And it gets explained in the clip after that, but that's a ways down here somewhere. Music, Echo the Dolphin soundtrack, Sega CD version. 21st clip. It's the first time that I've like, well, the previous episode was like 20 clips long. This one goes up to 31 clips or something, so yeah, it's quite a long video. 21st clip, Parasite Eve, I'll Kill You Later, a classic random moment from that LP. You know, it's just like, Parasite Eve is like one of my older LPs, I mean, freaking 2011, but it feels like it was just yesterday some days, honestly. It really does have some random moments in that LP. Some of my commentary in that was pretty random. Music audio taken directly from my LP of the game. This clip is a somewhat accurate recreation of how the scene looked in my LP of the game. Well, sort of. I mean, essentially, in the clip that he references, because it's audio taken directly from it, I'd remembered, because it was a blind LP, essentially, and when you face, I think her name was Eve, for the first time, when you confront her in the, I forget where it was it a theater, and she's playing piano, and they just like walk in and just like, okay, bitch, I'm gonna, and just like, and they just hear the piano piece, and they're just like, hey, that's pretty nice. Just like, yeah, just like kind of like moving to the side with the character, just like, yeah, I'll kill you later once you're done. Something like that I said, because I was just like, yeah, this piece is too good to pass up. I'll allow you to play this, and then it will kick your ass. 22nd clip, Silent Hill 1, 2, and Homecoming. James is weird, of course. Music, me playing a track from Silent Hill 2, I think. Can't remember the name of the track. On my guitar with a little bit of improv. I think it's called Promise or something like that, but there's also a Promise Reprise as well. I just can't remember the names of in the soundtrack, really. It's just kind of confusing and jumbled. 25th, wait, no, skipping one here. 23rd clip, Project 02, Tea and Biscuits. This is a reference to a joke I made a few times in my LP of the Nintendo Wii version. And the joke was that when Mayu kept like disappearing, wandering off somewhere, I just like jokingly say stuff like, she's probably, not in trouble or anything. She's probably just having tea and biscuits with Sai or something. And I'd like mentioned it a few times in the LP. That kind of joke became a slight running gag, if I recall. And essentially, that's what it's referencing. So, music, Project 02 soundtrack. I think the track I used is in all versions of Project 02. It's like 3 versions. Like, there's a PS2 version, which was the original. The Xbox version that added a different ending that I haven't actually played, the Xbox version. Then there's the Wii version that adds on more endings and even more modes and obviously changing gameplay. But I think the soundtrack remains the same in all of them. But I think the third one, the Wii version, might have like some more variety, but also has same tracks in the main game, essentially. Whatever. 25th clip, Eben Manfall, Pumpkinhead, Gary finally returns. Will I be able to get her revenge now that he has returned? Music, Manfaller and Ebe soundtracks. 26th clip, Miku interviews, Manatsuki, I had to get at least one Yume Nikki reference into these clips. Music, Yume Nikki soundtrack. After the October LPs were over last year and this LP was still ongoing, I was like, I've got to somehow include those ones into this, like in a reference. That's how that came to be. 27th clip, Echo and Yandere-chan. Wait for me, the evil blackboard clearly doesn't care much about this whole Yandere stuff. So, this is where it kind of reveals what the hell the previous clip was all about, essentially. Just like, what was that all about? Music, Echo the Dolphin soundtrack, Sega CD version. 28th clip, blueskulldragon87, Happy New Year solo. That has to be some of the best keyboard piano improv I've ever done. It really is. It has kind of like, I don't even know what I was doing really, it was just improvising. And it turned out really nice. I mean, even without the guitar bit over it, it sounds really nice on its own. The guitar just kind of feels like the icing on the cake kind of thing, really. And yeah. Music that I made for my Happy New Year 2014 to 2015 video, it's all improvised with the exception of the guitar solo that I wrote down. But then again, the solo has a little bit of improv mixed into part of it. It's like near the start of the guitar solo, there's this one bit because I was playing over the clip from the New Year video and I wanted it to look perfectly in time with it. Well, sound perfectly in time with it. Because I wanted this scene to kind of like have the guitar solo play throughout all of it, so I'd like slowed it down, and then when I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to add some more notes onto it, so it was like improvised, so like do 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 do, or something like that. I would play it, but I can't be asked. So that's that. And the music video that I made for it is actually pretty nice, because this is completely different to the other ones of these clips where referencing previous LPs, because this is referencing a New Year video. And it looks really nice, blends well together, except for Rin. When she's like miming playing the guitar solo, it doesn't quite look like she's actually playing it. While with Miku, it looks like she's generally playing the piano keyboard parts, and Len looks like he's playing the backing kind of guitar bits a bit. But then when the solo comes in, it kind of like doesn't look perfectly in sync. 29th clip, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Song of Storms. I forgot to add in the rain effects. Yes. I can't believe I forgot that, because that was part of the idea. I was like, you know what? Let's play, like I say right here, music me playing Song of Storms on my guitar. I was like, let's play that on guitar, and then have like Link just playing that and have that clock guy just be like, ah, not that bloody song again. And like, I wanted to add in the rain effect that they got in the game, and I forgot to actually add it in. So yeah. 30th clip, Miku interviews blueskulldragon87. This is the final Miku interviews clip, so I decided to have Miku interview me for the final interview in the series. How about that? It's just like, that's essentially interviewing myself, because I voiced Miku as well. And I kind of just talked in my normal voice. It's just like, well, there's going to be interviewing me. No character voices or anything. Just like talk normal-ish or whatever. And like answer a bunch of questions. Well, a few questions. I just like tried to make up questions. Just like, so what questions could be asked of me? It was like, okay, LP related. Just like, do you have any potential plans to LP another Pokemon game by Ramble, one of them? I was like, I'm not completely sure. Maybe Soul Silver, if I could. And now I'm helping freaking XD Gale of Darkness. Not mentioned in the freaking clip. Neither was freaking The Sims Busting Out. But Final Fantasy X was. But I'm surprised I didn't actually think about The Sims Busting Out when I'd like. Because, like I say in the video itself, the clip, there's just like games I could think of off the top of my head I thought maybe someday LPing. And I didn't even remember XD Gale of Darkness till, well, ages later. Piss off, iTunes. So anyways, music, me improvising with my guitar. I recorded a few chords on my effects pedal and improvised over it. I think it turned out pretty good. It really is pretty nice. It really is. It's just like, I think it did. Yeah, it turned out nice. 31st clip, Mad Father, Revenge Denied. The conclusion to the Eve Aya series, and the title makes it pretty obvious how Aya's quest for revenge ended. Music, Mad Father soundtrack. So that's the final clip in the series, well, this episode, but also in the Eve Aya kind of series thing. Which is a shame that I ended it so soon there. I mean, sure, it did go on quite a while, but it could have gone on a little longer because I didn't realize that I still had quite a few parts left of the LP, because I thought I was going to wrap up the LP in like 2-3 parts, but it went on a little longer than that. So I could have actually, like, you know, continued the Miku interviews and Mad Faller clips a little longer. At least had one more part, but I didn't. So anyways, then it just like goes on to the usual bollocks that I included in the actual description, and that concludes episode 4 of this random series of Vocaloid clips. This was a very long episode, but there is still one more episode left for series 1. I say series 1 because I might make more random clips in the future. So I hope you enjoyed these random clips. Side note, this video description took ages to put together. It was obscenely long, and I added a second side note in the actual description saying how ridiculously long it was that YouTube was like, no, that's too long, man. So, yeah, that's why I had to make a video for it. But, you know, on to this, where is it? Yeah, this right here. I might make more random clips in the future. I have, like, thought of various ideas for clips. But the thing is, I always find myself busy and busy and busy. And, like, that's real life as well. Not just, like, you know, doing the recordings all right. It's just busy. Like, college, guitar lessons, going places, just chaos. So, like, my time schedule is kind of, like, limited there. And the trouble is, with the current recordings I've got going, Sims Busting Out, Final Fantasy X, that requires the capture card, and the PS2. The Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness requires the capture card and the Wii, so I have to switch between the two. I haven't even done any recording for the Sims Busting Out Final Fantasy X in quite some time. I've been marathoning going through the Pokemon one because, you know, it's a blind LP. I'm curious with that one, while with Final Fantasy X and Busting Out, not nearly as much curiosity because I've played those games before. So yeah, that's that. And like, actually play the Project Diva games, to like, you know, actually make clips for them, I'd have to, you know, set up my PS3. So I'd have to take the leads out of the PS2 because I use it the same thing for both essentially, because I've only got one for some reason, and then plug the PS3 in, and then like set it up again, and do that, and that is just such a tedious task, and on top of just being busy usually, it's kind of like off-putting. So I have got ideas though for clips, like the Miku interviews thing. I think I could like do like a kind of sequel for that, and have a different character giving the interviews. Now I've kind of Miku just kind of like been a background character, just saying random stuff occasionally, because I've got the software now, so I could just like totally imagine her just like in the background just saying absurd random things during the interviews, and just like whoever's doing the interviews just like whatever or something. I don't know, just got some random ideas of clips to do, and with new LPs and all that, there's more stuff to reference essentially. But anyway, that will conclude this obscenely long video for an obscenely long video description. The video description for this video, I don't even know what it'll be. It better not be long, because that'd just be like all three then. Long video, long in video description, and long out of video description. That would be too confusing. So anyways, that's that. And I will link this video in the video description of the actual video itself, because couldn't fit the whole video description. So anyway, that's that. Yeah. I'll do the same thing I did last time. Ended on a chord. That is all.